Good day, everyone. Today is a special day because it's March the 23rd, it's Wednesday, so the reset has come for EU as well. It's a special day because it is currently 8:04 a.m. and I am awake. That is the special occurrence for today. Now, what is happening this reset is a bunch of new cool things. First, however, before going over back again on what is happening, we have to point out the news, I guess yesterday's news, which is the return of the Mage Tower. We knew back then, back in December, that the Mage Tower would have only lasted for 2 weeks. This was the main complaint back then. Why are you bringing it back if then it only has to stay up during the Legion time walking? Man, the next Legion time walking is in like 4 months. Does this mean if you don't get your appearances from the Mage Tower, you have to wait 4 more months before you have the next opportunity? That was the most repeated complaint. Therefore, when the Mage Tower will come back next week, next reset, when the Legion time walking comes back, the update from Blizzard reads that having heard the feedback and seen how it has played out, we agree that a personal skill challenge being available only for a short window of time every few months isn't in the spirit of these types of events. As such, starting on the week of March the 29th, the Mage Tower will be accessible at any time, no longer tied to the Legion time walking bonus event. This is the piece of news coming with this reset, even though it doesn't have to do with this reset itself. We have the news that now you can go back to the Mage Tower challenge, I guess, for the 3rd time. Since the first time from Legion and then the second time from 4 months ago, now you have the 3rd and I'm assuming final time, since it should be available from next week onwards. So you're gonna have plenty of time now to collect all of your appearances from the Mage Tower. Now, that being the first news of the week, we also have a few other things, which is continued nerfs to dungeons and raid bosses. Anduin, Raigelon have been gotten nerfed as well, but the majority of these nerfs were from Mythic, so not many people will care about these nerfs for quite a few weeks, so whatever. We have to point out about what is happening this week, which is legendary crafting. We have to point out that I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I am sorry that I didn't point this out earlier. I think I might have glanced over it for a few seconds, but then I just didn't stay on it too much, which is the price of the legendaries. Because you know, if you can craft a second legendary, it means you can craft, you need a second pattern, you need a second white base piece of gear. Because if you have been a good boy, if you have grinded is a bad word, if you have done your world quests at a leisurely pace, you should be revered, meaning you can craft your Covenant legendary. So you need materials, you need the base pattern, the base legendary to craft. Which means some of these might have gone up in price. They might have spiked back up because people, of course, are expecting players to go back and buy these items, especially because of the, I guess, uncertainty of tier set pieces. Perhaps many players did not want to buy these in advance, right? What happens if you had in mind to craft your legendary in the helmet or the chest or the shoulders, and then you just so happen to loot a tier piece in there? So perhaps you didn't want to buy one of these legendary base items ahead of time, and now perhaps you're also getting screwed because these base items have gotten increased significantly in price. I hope it's not your case. Luckily, it isn't my case so far with the ones I had to buy, but some people in some servers might be quite unlucky with the spike in price if you haven't bought them already. Now, another thing for this week is that if we go according to the schedule, I'm pretty sure by now we should already know, because NA will have gotten the reset earlier, so you should know by now. I don't as of this moment, so I'm gonna go up at predict based on what we have said to each other a few days ago, which is the fact that, technically speaking, the schedule, the Affix rotation of this season of Mythic Plus should be the same as Season 2. Therefore, let me grab and throw them on your screen as well. If last week, meaning yesterday, we had Tyrannical, we had Raging, and we had Volcanic, it should mean that this week we have Fortified, Inspiring, and Grievous. Those should be the new affixes for this week. It's pretty bad Honestly, it's not a very comfortable push week, considering the last fortified week was bursting and storming. This one is a nightmare in comparison. You know, inspiring in and of itself is going to waste some time in the key, plus it's fortified, so it's going to be even longer. I don't think it's going to be too nice. It's going to feel bad, of course, because the last fortified week we had was bursting and storming, which is very chill, very laid back, very cool. So not a too easy week of Mythic Plus if we follow the same schedule of Season 2, which we should. We have for the last 3 weeks, so it should be like this for this reset as well. I am then also going to remind everyone once again that the Creation Catalyst is now 1 reset closer to coming out, so it should be now 3 resets away, because this week was the start of week 5, and the Creation Catalyst should be coming live on week 8. So we have 3 weeks left. This is the reminder to not trash your gear that might be useful for the Creation Catalyst to transform into a tier piece. Also, in case you have missed out, the rate in which you will be able to craft a tier piece is 1 per week. 1 per week, and it stacks. So if I craft 1 tier piece per week for 5 weeks, if I suddenly log on my alt, which I left in a corner, never using it, that alt will be able to craft 5 tier pieces all at once. You have 1 charge per week, and it's gonna keep adding up, even if you're not playing a character. Even if you haven't even created a character yet, he will have those charges racking up over time. So it's gonna be quite handy for alts and for characters you haven't played yet, you're not bothering right now to play. You will be able to get basically a full tier set after a month of the Creation Catalyst coming live for all of your alt characters, which is quite good. This is going to be quite a fun week to go over for our reports, because we are getting the second legendary for everyone. I'm sure most people are quite excited about this. It should be, I think, the highlight of the release of the patch. I'm sure some people enjoyed Zereth Mortis, others enjoyed the new Affix for Mythic Plus, others are currently enjoying the raid, but I think, you know, the overall coolest one, the overall coolest addition is going to be being able to tinker with 2 legendaries. Not to mention the quality of life of now having every single Covenant legendary into 1. That is quite handy, it's quite cool. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to try out all of these new combos and different ways to play if you have them. We have already touched on a few possible changes. We will go, of course, after we have observed the changes in these next few weeks to see what exactly is changing. I said we should have, for example, things like Balanced Druid, who currently paused their Ventier stay to go back to Night Fae. They should be going back to Ventier. Perhaps we have some Hunters, maybe even the survival ones, going to Ventier for single target. Perhaps we have some other changes in Covenants here and there, which might be interesting in the way they change the way you play. So I am quite interested, quite excited for this week of progression of Mythic Plus keys and whatnot, and see what players do with their 2 legendaries. Of course, we are also even closer to the full picture of your character, to the full realization of the power of your character because of the tier set pieces. So at this moment, you don't see me, I don't think, too angry or triggered, because I haven't actually opened my Great Vault yet. So I am still somewhat sane at the moment. I have 3 tier pieces right now, so I currently have a full reclear of Heroic, a full reclear of Normal, I guess, and a Great Vault for a chance to get a tier piece. You will know by my next video on Thursday if I will not have gotten the 4th tier piece, giving me my 4-piece set bonus. You will know, because it will not be a fun video. Now, we might also be in for some drama, as we pointed out yesterday, about the world first race, because of the double legendary coming in yesterday for the general progression. As I said, I hope it doesn't ruin the world first race. It has been quite a tight race for the world first between 2 guilds. It's been quite entertaining, so I wish it's not going to be completely ruined by the advantage of having a double legendary combo earlier, but as I said, I am pretty confident this time around. I will be confident in the fact that Blizzard has been balancing this jailer progression fight for having 2 legendaries, and it's gonna be long enough that the few hours earlier of acquiring double legendary for a liquid, not limit, will not be too drastic for Echo. So that is what I hope for as far as the progression for these 2 top guilds goes. I'm also hoping it ends quite soon, because as we know, we should get some more balance tuning for bosses and perhaps even some balance tuning for specs and classes in the tail end of the world first race. Usually Blizzard is not keen to touch classes and specs because of the top guilds and their progression, so only after we might see some tuning here and there of certain overtuned or undertuned specs deserving some retouches. So I'm also hoping for that to be happening. So no rush for the world first guilds, but perhaps if you move onwards a little bit towards clearing the raid, maybe we can start getting some changes as well for some of the specs. So with this recap of this week, of this weekly reset, we can stop now. We can stop here on this Wednesday. Have all of you from Europe have a good opening of the Great Vault. I wish many tier sets, many IQDs, many changelings. I don't know what you're looking for in your vault, but I wish you're getting yours, whatever you need, just as I wish I am getting mine. And also, of course, thank you guys for watching the video and for helping to support me and the channel. You can do more by liking on the video and commenting down below, because YouTube said so. I'm not quite sure why. You can also subscribe to the channel, but this time around a subscription button is going to be unlocked and available to everyone who is satisfied by what they have been offered this week in the Great Vault. Thank you guys for watching. Yes, as usual, and there's this thing here and there's this thing here as well. See you guys soon, and in the meantime, oh my god, when is the last time I woke up at 8 in the morning? Oh my god. Oh.